Welcome, accounting kids. Mr. Greg here. We're going to start section 12.3 on page 351. We're going to talk about writing down the information in a log called a payroll register. So you can keep track of what you owe your employees, and that's anything from regular pay to overtime to federal income tax to Social Security to Medicare and so on, and to calculate their net pay. So basically, you're going to figure out their pay, figure out what their deductions are, and then their net pay. If you look on page 351, that's where we're getting started. So I'm just going to kind of go through these steps. It's not real hard. I would read through these, and it'll walk you through what you need to do. Step 1, enter the date of the semi-monthly payroll period. Okay, that'll go up in the upper left corner. So that is what the payroll period is, so what you're getting paid for. Step 2 is the date of payment, and that's in the upper right corner. So you write the date. And usually they'll give you that. 3, for each employee, enter employee number, name, marital status, and allowances. So for the first one, you'd write the first little column, employee number. So it's number 2. Aranda Susan is the employee's name. Marital status is married. And then number of withholdings or allowances is 2. You'd have to enter that in there. That comes off their time card. And then 4, you're going to enter their regular earnings, overtime, and total that amount up. And you would get that off of their time card as well. Okay, so basically what we've got done is basically columns 1, 2, and 3, and the employee information and the payroll date, and then the payday period. Flip over to 352. We're going to have to do some flipping back and forth here, but number 5, enter in column 4 the federal income tax withheld from each employee. And Mr. Selby's federal tax withholding is 28. So you would go find that on those salmon color pages in your textbook on page 347 and 348. If you remember those, if you can see those. You go there to calculate. So for assignments, you can go there to calculate what the federal income tax is going to be. Okay, so that would be column 4. Column 5 is Social Security. Next, enter the column 5 on the payroll register. Social Security tax withheld for each employee. Mr. Shelby's Social Security tax deduction is $70.49 is recorded in column 5 of the payroll register. Mr. Shelby's total earnings for the year have not exceeded Social Security tax base. So that Social Security tax base, remember I said, and they'll tell you in the problem, if Mr. Shelby's tax base is $40,000, and once he's paid in $40,000 for Social Security tax for the year, he doesn't have to pay any more. That could be in September. If he reaches that, he doesn't have to pay any more Social Security tax for that year. Now, $40,000 is a high amount, but just an example there. Number 7 is enter in column 6, Medicare tax withheld from each employer, and they give you the amount. 8 in column 7, health insurance premium deductions, and they'll give you the amount that would be deducted there, and you just write it in that column. 9 in column 8, all other employees' payroll deductions. The other column is used for voluntary deductions. A voluntary deduction, is where maybe you have a charity day. Would you like to donate $10 to United Way or whatever type of charitable fund, breast cancer, COVID-19 relief fund? It's an involuntary, or it's a voluntary deduction, not mandatory. That would go in the other column, which in this case is column 8. Okay. Now next, to do column 9, you're basically in column 9, you're going to add up all of your deductions. So I'm on number 10 here. You're going to add up your federal income tax amount, Social Security, federal Medicare tax, health insurance, and your other, and that gives you your total deductions. So you're going to go across to the right, not down, to the right. Okay, and that's going to give you your totals. Okay, and then to find your net pay, your total earnings, that's number 11. Your net pay is what you're taking home after deductions. You take your total earnings minus your total deductions. So in this case, total earnings would be column 3, and you would minus that, minus column 9, the number there, and that gives you your net pay.